let's talk about Jack Eichel and his post-game comments real quick.
Yeah. So Jack Eichel, man, let me tell you, man. I've been
This
to
fucking guy, I swear, he's like cranked the villain roll up to 11.
Jake, I don't even know if this is villainous.
It's so funny
Listen
because
to
he's
his
just.
tone of voice.
I
Listen
know.
to the tremble. He was rattled.
He was rattled, and he was just like, he was throwing the most amount of shade he could at the Pagulas. Honestly, it was more towards the Pagulas, was it not? Like,
no.
Yes, he addressed the fans.
He ripped the fans more than anything. Let me tell you, man, had Jack Eichel just been like, this was a frustrating process and coming back, it sucked, but I needed to make a personal decision for my life.
You said last episode he was not going to get the same reception that Reinhart did.
No. And people, here's the thing, man. People are going nuts about it because they're like, well, bad ownership. Look at this, look at this, look at that.
I mean, that's part of it, but at the same time.
Here's the thing, Jake. At the end of the day, you need to ask the question. Why did there are two former second overall picks by Buffalo Sabres? One's Sam Reinhart, one's Jack Eichel. Mm-hmm. Why was one received so well by the fans? Everybody in the arena, I was there. Everybody in the arena stood up. People in there, when it was a blowout, were cheering for him to get a goal. People wanted to score.
Sabres fans wanted him to score, huh?
Love Sam Reinhart. What is it about Sam Reinhart that he comes back to Buffalo? It was the same team. Mm-hmm. They were on the team for the same amount of time. Played together. Right. Never made the playoffs. Never had success. Why is Sam Reinhart getting a good reception and Jack Eichel's not? I'll tell you this right now, because everybody's freaking out about like him. Oh, like, I mean, this guy made a lifestyle. And tell you right now, I live here. I talk, a lot of my friends are Sabres fans. I've had a lot of discussion. It has nothing to do with the surgery. Huh. Generally speaking, everybody here supports Jack Eichel in the fact that he wanted the opportunity to do what he should with his own body.
Right.
Protect himself. Get a surgery he felt comfortable getting. Okay? Mm-hmm. Nobody has an issue with that. What they have an issue with is the fact that this team gave him the captaincy. They gave him the C. They gave him an 8-year deal. They gave him $80 million.
Right.
And they said, we need you to be the solution.
You're the guy.
This team.
Right.
Like, you are the guy. Forget, like, people talk about like, oh, well, he's not the only problem in the locker room. There's other issues here and here and stuff like that. I'm like, here's the thing. I'm not giving a player $80 million and the C to not be a problem. And whether he is a problem or not, doesn't matter to me if he thinks it's a problem or not. All I know is you and I could both say he wasn't the solution. And that's where the frustration comes from. You know, he donated a lot of time and money to charities around Buffalo, but there's a lot of people who don't feel like he truly embraced the city and its fans. And there's a lot of frustration with people going into it. And that's why they felt the need to boo. And then finding out that he requested a trade a year prior.
Right. The request. Yep.
Frustrated. So there's a lot of frustration. A lot of people booed. And frankly, for anybody who's questioning why Sabres fans booed, Jack Eichel showed it to you with how he responded to it in the postgame. Nobody should be questioning why Sabres fans booed. After you see that in the postgame, that response, that is precisely why they booed. Because this guy clearly doesn't have the maturity level to be a captain. Now, you can dog the organization for giving it to him in the first place, but at the end of the day, you were supposed to be the savior, and you did nothing to help the team.
I know it was because they booed him because they missed him.
As production's concerned. Production, sure, you need to play well, but that's not enough. We all know it. You need to start and be a part of a new culture and build a culture of winning. And frankly, this dude had no interest in being a part of that.
Because wasn't that the second part of his comment was, you know, I guess they booed me because they missed me.
Frankly, Sabres fans like the trade. I don't know if Sabres fans really miss him.
Honestly,
And Long
okay.
Island's tough.
I remember when Melody Martin posted her video about the Jack trade, and she was like, it was more relief.
More relief than
anything. Yeah.
And it's like my issue. Look,
like she was sad over the Sam Reinhart trade, but the Eichel trade, she was just like, okay, finally it's over.
Yeah. Why is that, Jake? Why were people so sad about the Sam Reinhart trade, but relieved about the Jack Eichel trade? It's a legit question. That's all I'm going to say, because it shows there's two different personalities, two different levels of maturity, two different guys. One was quiet, but a leader in Sam Reinhart.
Hey,
frankly, that's who should have been the captain.
If the people if the people watching and listening to this want to answer us, tweet at us.
It's also frustration.
Tweet at us, comment, what you guys think. What was Jack's problem?
This guy's body language sucks.
It's
Buffalo. And here's the other thing, Jake. It's the decisions he made too.
And the facial expressions that he was making. The facial expressions,
the body language, how he answered questions in Buffalo, but more importantly than that, Jake, they knew it was rough with him. They knew that he wasn't happy. And as a result, they gave him more power. Why do you think Ralph Krueger was the head coach of the Buffalo Sabres?
Because he was Jack's guy.
That was a disaster. That was Jack's decision. Why do you think everybody criticized him? I can't believe they just gave Jeff Skinner $9 million. Why do you think they gave?
Because Jack wanted him.
Those were his decisions. If you're upset about roster construction, the bad contract for Skinner, Ralph Krueger being the head coach, Jack, that was you. Those were things you wanted. And now, and neither of them.
They gave you the sun and the moon, and yeah,
Skinner's having a very good season. So defend him for a second. But the last 2 years that Jack was in Buffalo with Skinner, it was a disaster, right?
Yeah, he wasn't even playing with Jack.
Exactly. So here's the thing: those were your decisions. If you want to look at it and be like, "Oh my God, Ralph Krueger, that's a disaster. Jeff Skinner, that's a disaster." Jack, those were your decisions, and now you're bailing. You did this, and now you bailed on the team. That's why fans booed. I'm not here to say that that's 110% correct. I'm not here to say that I feel the same way Sabres fans do. What I'm saying is, from talking to Sabres fans, because I know a lot of them, that's the general consensus.
That's totally fair. It's funny because I thought we were just going to laugh at what his actual statement was.
It's
because
one of the
if you read the statement verbatim and just take it at face value, it's very funny to read. It's very funny to kind of listen to.
It's a hilarious read, but it's a hilarious cell phone. That is the loudest I've heard this building in 7 years. Oh, so you didn't get this place to ever be louder?
It only took 7. Yeah, it only took 7 years and me leaving.
Oh, so you agree you were a part of the problem?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even realize it.
That is such a terrible self-own. Good job, Jack.